Everybody stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion that's, somebody make a motion for approval of the previous minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve previous minutes.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Citizens report. Is there any citizens that want to address this council? PDS report, Gail.
Really don't have anything, I just have a question. Does anybody know why PDS and the police were either at 301 or 305 Main Street?
No.
You don't have any idea?
When was this?
About a week ago.
Yeah, we've been there at Main Street.
Yeah, either 301 or 305, PDS was there as well.
We were doing an inspection with them the other day.
I'm sorry?
We were doing a fire inspection with them the other day.
We were
Okay.
there about a week or so ago, aside from their call in reference to a landlord-tenant issue, where they, the landlord, I don't know where I was. I got to the call after it was over with because I was coming from a different area, but the chief was there and a Ludlow officer was there, but basically the landlord she was acting erratic. She was upset over like $100 or something.
Okay.
So that's all I know. I'm not sure anything beyond that, so.
Okay.
And do you know if that was 301 or 305?
I don't know, because the police.
301, should be 301, the top one.
Yeah, because the police car was at the corner of Main and Boone, and PDS was on the.
Well, they've been remodeling 301, they've been
Okay.
parking the wrong way, but that's why I noticed, but they're remodeling it.
Okay.
But I did see somebody walk up at 305 and go around the side where the old people.
Is the people close?
No. I know was some kind of disagreement between the owner and the leasing.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know where that stands out right now, but I don't think it's very good.
Okay. And anything on the liens for 240 Shelby?
They've not been paid. I've written to them 2 or 3 times and they haven't heard anything back.
So what's our course of action?
I'm sorry.
What's our course of action?
Well, I mean, if y'all wanna file suit on it, we can do that.
I would say if that's the next step, that's what we do. I said I would say if that's the next step.
We put that in place after so many.
Well, this is a case where the property was bought. There was existing liens that were never paid at the
Yeah.
time of the sale for whatever reason.
Purchased by a new owner without giving means.
I'm thinking it's happening more than not nowadays.
I wouldn't doubt that.
So, yeah, move on to the next
Take
step.
action against them.
I mean, if you wanna go ahead and make a motion, second, to foreclose
What
on
was
it.
the address of your property, please?
240 Shelby.
I'll make a motion, we proceed with a legal action against 240 Shelby.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Does that go to the previous owner or the existing one?
It actually can go to the old owner and the new owner, but practically speaking, just the new owner.
I don't have anything else.
Which really, when something like that happens, they didn't do a very good title search.
They
Then,
didn't
right?
do the title search.
No, they didn't do a
Either
title
that or
search.
whoever did it missed them.
I don't think they do any titles.
Okay, police, you're up next, sir.
I'd look, see if there's another cop there next to me. Forgot it was police chief, or the fire chief. Not used to being the center of attention. So I don't really have a whole lot other than, we've had a couple issues with 404 Pike Street. It's a very similar issue to our address over on King Street. So any calls that you guys, or any things that you guys see in reference to that, or the citizens see in reference to anything erratic or out of behavior, normal behavior, we'd like to know, because obviously we can't get everywhere at once. The male half is not supposed to be on the residence because of a charge of strangulation against his fiancee or baby's mom or whatever at 404, so that's a thing as well. And then our gentleman that lives over on King Street has recently been acting out again, so just putting that out there to y'all that if you guys see something, especially considering you guys live here, let us know as soon as possible and steer clear the best that you can, and let us handle that accordingly so that we can try to keep you guys as safe as possible. So that's all I got.
Anybody got any questions?
I do. Is this acting out like within his home, on his own property,
little bit
or
of
is
both.
this coming outside into the neighborhood again?
Not to the level as it was last time, but from my understanding with my officers, I was off for a couple of weeks, enjoying some much needed time with my family. And I had gotten, when I came back, I'd gotten some reports that he had been doing a little bit of both, but not to the level it was before. But he had been acting erratic outside the home, and then there was things, I think last time that I dealt with him, he was throwing fireworks and things out the door, sounding like gunshots and stuff that was disturbing the neighbors and making the people a little uneasy. Something similar to that, but I guess I tell my officers the same thing I tell you guys, you don't go there by yourself, so we want to make sure that you guys are safe and he's as safe as possible as well, so.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you. Fire department, Mike?
Thanks, sir. I don't really have much either. I get my report in front of you. We're trying to finish up the inspections for the 2024 and get ready for next year's inspections. We had the winterized hydrants. There was 5 that were still wet after we winterized them and pumped them out. So we sent those to the water district. And then that's kind of all I got. There's an update should have been included on the intern programs. If you got any questions on that, it's really taken off.
You did a good job on everything.
Well, thank you, sir.
All person did. All of them.
I got a voice, got a face for radio.
You got a face for it.
Yeah, channel 19 and 12 have covered us recently because of the grant and different things, so. Any questions?
So you were saying, Mike, again, once the youth thing is kind of slowed down, you know, your, what is it, your, youth?
The juniors, the people under 18, yeah. Right now, I think we have 2 that are under 18. One of them is turning 18 next month, and then she'll start recruit class. I think it's next month. And then the other one is just turned 17, I believe, so he's got another year.
Yeah. It's just hard getting the group together like that.
And the kids, I guess they, the kids are under, 18. I guess they just don't know what they want to do yet, and they're still playing around with their friends and sports. And we did have a good group there for a while, and then
Right. Yeah.
sports came, and fall and spring, and they kind of fell off. And they're like, I'll be back when things settle down, and that just never happened. So,
We did that, you know.
yes, sir.
All right. Anything else, Mike? Mike, thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
All committee.
You gonna get a clock?
Yes, I'll get a clock.
Okay.
Well, we might want to
We're gonna hear you.
order that, the hall committee, that we think the concrete is finished under the back room, finding that dirt, and that's really gonna knock down on the odor down there. So that would be a big plus.
Sir,
Damn,
I mean, it's also a chance to eliminate the pest control too.
Yeah, all the rats getting in, yeah.
They can't get in now.
Oh, don't say that yet.
No, right? It's that time of year.
It's dead.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Diane. Road and light, Dave?
Road and light, I've managed to keep the snow off the street so far. But along those lines, the last year's contractor for the snow removal, L&M, has assured me that they would cover us up through the first of the year off of the contract that we had with them last year, and that they would like to continue it, and that they would not raise the cost. It would be under the same time and material, the same cost, to finish out this winter season also. So, they have talked about lawn care service, and I told them it's not my job. So, they'll be reaching out to somebody else for that. But as far as the snow removal, we're under contract and we're covered this year too.
Thank you.
Yep.
When they,
Oh,
oh,
go ahead.
sorry, when they said same price, he had mentioned something one time about.
Well, that's included, that was, he did bill for that for last year, so.
Okay,
So they got paid for last year on that.
so it is the same price
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
okay.
So what she's referring to is that there's a stocking fee. Even Shane Hammett
Right,
charges
yeah,
for that.
salt.
But they store it, and if it's not used, they'll use that next year, and it keeps the cost down a little bit, what is still good to use. But they do stock material, and they start off with $1,000 of that, so there should be no cost on time or on material, just time when we do have our first events, and I'll watch for that.
Dave?
Yep.
All right. Hey, Bob, you got anything?
Earlier this week, we hung the last of the memorial banners for the we had one for John Livingston, and that went on across from like 207 Main Street on that one post in here. Now that covers all the posts, so we have no more room on the posts. No more posts, I should say, that to hang any banner. So if any more come in, you're gonna have to find another place to hang them. And the rest of the time, it's been like, you know, clean up, leaves, still have plenty of leaves to clean up, and litter and stuff like that, so.
Bob, on those flags, with Main Street being state route, you want me to reach out to the state and see if we can start running Pike Street? If we have any additional ones?
Well, yeah, because this is just an idea that I had, was using that section of property along the fence line,
Yeah.
okay? And see if we could come up with a way to build it up high enough where we could hang banners, you know, down that way. You know, probably with, you know, some type of pipe or tubing or something like that.
I can
But at least-
reach out to Duke also and ask them if we can use their poles, because Crittenden, Walton, other rural counties, they do use the telephone poles to put those banners on, so I'll reach out to them too, and if not, we'll put some poles up as we need.
Right, yeah, you can do that, yeah.
Before you order them, if we go that route, the banners will be bigger, because the ones I accidentally bought the wrong brackets and poles for the ones that we replaced down there. So it was gonna cost me almost the same amount as that I paid for it, so I donated it to the city to get it back, the restocking fee and all this good stuff. So it's my mistake, and we got the right ones, and I donated 14 sets of materials. Hang bigger, they're bigger, they're wider.
Oh, okay, the ones you bought were too big.
Yeah, I got the wrong ones.
Okay.
So I was trying to get it back to get reimbursed, and I hadn't submitted any reimbursement yet, so I just paid for it and donated it to the city.
Okay.
I only have another question about the banners. If we do open it up for more banners, can we open it up to other military personnel that still has family in the city?
Or who was born and raised here?
Yeah, because for instance, and I'll say it, it's my brother, he served in Nam, and I still live down here. It'd be nice for me to be able to see and honor him. You know, so that's the only reason I say that, but I think that the more we honor, it's disrespectful.
Well, my only thing, I mean, I agree, I don't disagree, but then my only thing goes, if where he lives does them, then does he have one where he lives, and then we don't have room for someone who's living here? I agree with you, I love the veterans, so
Yeah.
I think they
It
should
doesn't
do
matter
it.
where it's displayed, to me.
Yeah,
I'm going through the whole city numerous times a week anyway, so, the fact that he's being honored. I do know some other cities over in Ohio that when they do that, they order two, and they give one to the family, and they present the other one, and then next year come Veterans Day or whatever, they post them back out again, so. There's just other cities do it differently, so
yeah,
I'm just throwing that out there.
Who takes the applications on those? Or is there
they
an application?
go into Bromley.
Has there been
There's
an
not been-
overwhelming amount of?
Not necessarily. The one extra that we've gotten from you that was honored, and I haven't received anything otherwise, and I
Well,
check the
David-
posts from time to time.
David sent me one for his brother,
Okay.
but we,
Right.
yeah,
Right.
Yeah, the protocol's
Yeah.
different to what it.
yeah, and like I said, it's not my call, so.
No, no,
Yeah.
I understand.
Whatever we agree to, if we wanna, if you wanna start looking for poles on Pike Street, and then we can start working on filling those.
I mean, I think it would look nice going to.
I think they look nice,
Got so
so,
many complaints that they're not complaints, compliments. No words too close to the complaints.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
well,
I have to say, I think ours, from all the ones I've seen, I think ours are the best looking ones, as far as the quality look up to
Yeah,
them.
and with them being bigger, they're not even.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that forwarded to me? I don't recall.
Dave's, no, because it
Oh,
was a
okay.
phone call.
Okay, all right. I was like, wait a minute, did I miss
No,
something? Okay.
no,
Okay.
And I knew Diane was involved in them, so I just reached out to her.
Yeah.
Well, whatever the council wants to do, you guys wanna open it up for more?
I'm in favor of it.
I think we should, especially
Okay.
people who want to raise here.
I'll make a motion to that effect if you need that.
Okay.
So we go ahead and at least look into moving it on Pike Street.
Need a second?
I'll second.
Tim, second?
Well, and I mean, I second it too, but then we have to make sure what our guidelines are. I mean, I get, I mean, are they
Could
just
you-
anybody who submits a form that used to live here? And I'm not saying that,
Well, I think
I
still
don't wanna
living
get-
in the city, any
family.
relative or whatever still living in the city will
Okay.
constantly see that, and it's an honor to them.
just so we have something
I
to
don't even know
guide.
who's
So
Steve
required to
Tanner.
have a current family member
Yeah.
residing in the
Steve
city.
Tanner got anybody still in the city?
Direct family member,
Right.
not like
He's got
one
one.
cousin.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it could get sticky, so.
Yeah,
you-
right,
you
that's
gotta
what I
chisel
mean.
it down a little.
It can, we don't think it will, but.
If it's first come, first served for people that live in the city versus people outside of the city, I think that kind of solves itself. If there's an overwhelming amount of people that
Right.
are applying, which there doesn't seem to be,
No,
right?
yeah.
I think we should take into consideration your brother and the one that I submitted, since they were previously submitted and were
Oh,
under consideration.
Yeah, you mean as first dibs?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Should we maybe, so we have those two, but just from, prior to sharing, and making it a thing, do we need to determine how many polls we have? That way
Well,
we
we
have
gotta
a
wait
number.
and see what Dave finds
Okay,
out.
so we'll start there and then go with,
Yeah,
putting
then
it
we'll
out there
decide.
for.
I would say you're easily up to 5 to 10 at this point to go down Pike Street Route 8.
So you already got two, you got
Five,
Gail, you got
10
Gales, and you got Dave.
If you get too many of them, you just rotate them or something.
Yeah,
Right.
and we can make them double-sided. We didn't, the ones that we have so far, but they can be made double-sided.
So we can honor two people.
Yes, on one on each side, if we get overrun with requests.
Brittany, did I provide a picture for the one that or did I just?
I don't believe so, it was
Alright.
just the name information.
Alright.
So Dave, put yours in.
Yeah, I'll get a picture also. I got some at home.
Okay, we got a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Let's see.
I'm sorry, who were the voters?
Hmm?
Who voted?
I
Kendall
made a
motion.
motion.
Tim second.
And I'm gonna refrain from voting. President not voting for the fact that it's one of my relatives.
Okay, Kim?
I've got the second reading of ordinance 11-124 dealing with the increase in the single dwelling unit rental amount. Ordinance 11-124, an ordinance of the city of Bromley amending chapter 152.18C of the official code of ordinances of the city of Bromley by increasing the fee to obtain a rental license for a single dwelling unit rental property in the city, be ordained by the city of Bromley. Section 1 of chapter 152.18C of the official code of ordinance of the city of Bromley is amended as follows. No license shall issue or be renewed unless the completed application form is accompanied by the payment of a license fee in the amount of $150 per single dwelling unit and $100 per unit for multiple dwelling units within one structure or building. Section 2, ordinances in conflict or to the extent of such conflict repealed. Section 3, the invalidity of any section, subsection, or sentence of this ordinance shall not affect the remainder. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect and be in full force from and after its passage, approval, and publication according to law. That's the second reading.
Somebody won't make a motion that we accept ordinance number 11-124?
I'll make a motion to accept 11-124.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
That's really all I have, man.
Okay. Ways and Means, Mike?
I really don't have anything. Everything was pretty good. We have received a little over 80,000 in property taxes, so it's pretty good. I think it's like 82,000, somewhere around there. And one other good sized check is that we finally got something from BP after 2 years of not getting anything from them on grocery receipts. Got about $23,000 there. Should get 30 or more in April, somewhere around there. So
That whole issue's been resolved now?
all resolved. Yeah.
What are we doing with the shirts that were bought? Is that gonna be part of the law project?
Shirts.
Is it reimbursement for shirts only,
It's just, we didn't buy shirts, we bought the decals so that if anybody goes up
Oh,
to buy them, he has the decals on hand and he'll keep track of how many decals he uses and basically it's just considered
okay.
advertising.
That's all mine.
Okay. Park and playground, Tim? It's gotta be quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, he said the only thing that he's got in pickleball is still on, it's in April on the, I'm trying to, the asphalt
Okay.
it's still on their calendar, so they keep reminding us that they have us on their calendar for the springtime. Yeah.
Thank you. Insurance grants, Andy?
Not much, we just got billed for our second half of our policy renewal, so that'll be on next month. That's really it.
Okay, as we change over to the new council, I'll be reaching out to each council member and going over the duties for each one of you all, okay? I'll do that probably the week after Christmas, okay? And just so you know, it's pretty much the same, there's a few changes, okay?
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm presenting this as a private citizen. Paul Anderson, owner of the cemetery,
Yeah.
sent me an email yesterday, and he said, the mayor down in Bromley, Kentucky, I understand the city has an easement that runs from high water to the cemetery, and I am asking for your permission to allow volunteers, including Duke, Gail Smith, Keith Williams, and others to use the easement to clean up the debris and overgrowth that's overtaken the property. Thank you for your consideration, Paul Anderson and Friends of the Harris Gardner Cemetery.
What's the easement?
It
From
runs
high water?
From high water over, there's, actually, let's see which
I don't think we have one over there.
one. No, yeah, you do.
Is that the city property?
Yeah, it says City of Bromley, an easement of stormwater and, storm sewer over that portion of property from Moore Street near the old cemetery in a straight line to the sewer beneath High Water
That
Road.
was conveyed to SB1. They,
I can
Well,
they can use it, the sanitation department, as long as it's on Tim's property.
Right.
I mean, if you're talking about where the sewer line went through there?
Yeah.
Yes, that was conveyed to SD1 when all the storm system was conveyed to SD1.
But, okay. And, whatever.
I mean,
That was back when they took over all the
yeah,
lines and
yeah,
95,
something like that.
but don't we still have an easement from Moore Street?
We do, but if we have to get
You
tree,
can-
if we have to get tree equipment and stuff in there, it's gonna be difficult to maneuver.
I think they'll give it to you.
If they do,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know who to contact, but I'm pretty sure they will.
okay.
Because there's a tree down now.
Yeah, there is a tree down, and accessibility, I mean, we wanna make it as easy as possible and not risk damaging someone else's property.
I don't think SD1's ever denied anybody
Okay.
easement to get anything going.
I'll reach out to SC.
I've got a contact over there if you want me to send it to you, Gail.
If you don't mind, that way for sure.
Yeah, I can do
Thank you.
that.
From what I understand, there wasn't any heavy equipment coming in, there was just people and small trimmers and stuff coming in.
Well, we're gonna have, eventually, some of those trees are gonna have to come out of there. And we gotta get that, as soon as the 501c gets some money, we need to get that broken limb out of there, because there's a danger.
That tree is on his property, so.
That's on Tim's property?
Mhm.
Oh,
Okay. The tree's not, but to get up into it is. And again, there's no problem from him with SD or all the Duke getting on there. The problem is with you two, and he doesn't want you on his property. That's how it goes.
Okay.
whatever.
He doesn't have any problem with Duke's volunteers going up there.
That's great.
Okay.
I can't believe that you're going to be that petty about trying to revive us. I'm speaking.
Well, so am I.
I would get
Patty
before
came before this.
I
Period.
can't believe that you guys are gonna be so petty as to stop the renovation of.
They're not. Any volunteer that wants to go up there with Duke. Two people who have caused as much ruckus as you have, they have a problem with.
What ruckus do we cause?
Okay. All right, that's not something we need to bring up here, okay? Let's move on. Okay, we need to make a acceptance for all the committee reports. Am I make a motion to accept them?
I'll make a motion to accept the committee reports. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Old business? Anybody got any old business? Okay. New business?
I have some new business to make.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
I hate to be the one to throw a wrench into things here tonight, but come to a decision here. I don't have, my body is just not working anymore. I can't get out of my own way. I'm no help to Jack, and I'm no help to myself, and I'm no help to my family at home. So I need to get these fixed,
Okay.
so I can start to live a normal life. And as much as it breaks my heart to have to walk away from my job here, I am resigning as of January 1st. So I hope that,
Well, hate to hear it miss you, Bob, but
yeah.
glad you're taking care of yourself,
Hey,
though.
Bob, before you do that, I mean, if you feel better, there's always the opportunity to come back and maybe work as a part-time.
I was gonna ask you about that.
I'd be more than welcome to have you back as a part-time support for the city,
Well, I'd be more than happy, and in the meantime,
but take care of yourself.
during the transition,
Right.
I'll be more than happy to help with the transition to whoever you decide to take over.
Well, Bob, there's only one direction I'm gonna go in that is with Jack.
Good. A good decision.
You helped Jack, and Jack felt in the void because you broke him in, real well, that he knows the system and everything, and you could be any support or any questions in the upcoming, future, okay?
Yep.
And I think all of us from the councilors really appreciate all the effort you put in for this city. You did a fantastic job, and it's recognized by everybody.
Thank you for that. I'm glad it was appreciated. But believe me, I got just as much enjoyment out of it as people enjoyed what was getting done around here. Because it's just, that's me, I just,
Right.
I love this city. There's nothing in the world I wouldn't do to keep it growing and keep it clean and looking good, and keep everything maintained, manicured and everything.
And you've done a wonderful job.
Well, you just get to a certain point in your time, you know? A lot of people don't realize it, but I'm gonna be 76 next month.
Yeah.
You know, it's not,
It does creep up quick.
Make
Yeah,
it
really.
easy, Bob.
But Bob, make sure you come around, once you go and talk to Jack and
Oh, yeah.
things you've seen and stuff like that. Don't feel like you have to
No.
stay away or nothing like
yeah,
that,
he-
you know?
Jack knows anything,
Yeah.
anything that he's gonna need, you know, come January, you know,
Right.
information, help or anything like that, be able to come to me, well, anytime, anywhere. Any- you know.
You meant 66, didn't you?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, thanks, and get yourself in good shape.
Yeah, get yourself caught up, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Bob.
Hey, Bob, I think it's rare to find somebody that treats their job as if you owned the city. And you did everything, you approached every task you've ever had as if it was yours.
Well, thank you,
And there's
because
two
that's
men,
what
there's
I-
nothing.
that's what I intended to do.
Well, you did a
You
great
know, I
job.
wanted
Yes,
to,
you did.
I wanted to say that someday I'm gonna walk away from this, and people are gonna appreciate what I did.
Hey,
And if
you're
that's,
exactly
if that's
right.
all I got out of it, then I'm happy with
Yeah.
that.
So you got my,
You got
We'll be
that?
happy, Bob, because we appreciate it.
Good. Thank you very much.
Any communication? Okay.
Still in business?
Huh? Yeah.
I don't know how I follow that.
I know.
That got me right in the feels. Dang it, Bob. So, it was the weekend of Thanksgiving or something. I got, we'll just say a discussion with Officer Jack about the church parking there on Steve Tanner. He told me I couldn't park there, which is fine. I moved my car. But there's two signs that say church parking today, approved by city council. It's my understanding that those two signs indicated 2 spaces, which are halfway down the hill,
No.
because of the way they're spaced.
If you go back through the ordinance at the time they were approved, which was 3 years ago, maybe 4, it was because they had so many people and they had nowhere to park. And people were always allowed to park over there where those signs were. That's normal legal parking in the city.
Yeah.
Those 2 signs were made up in buckets, and they were to be put on the school side of Steve Tanner.
The western side.
And they had to leave enough room for the tank bus to make its turn.
The yellow
And enough
side.
to get around. So there was room for about 3 cars to be parked on the opposite side of the street. The church has taken it upon themselves, I've spoke to the mayor, and they have decided that they want to put those poles in ground in the right of way of the street and impose street parking on them, on themselves, and they cannot do that.
Well,
So those need to be pulled out.
do we need a new resolution? Or are you gonna reach out to the church, or how do we do something
I
about it?
mean, that you're doing something that they're not been authorized to do, I don't see
Yeah.
any resolution. They just
But
need-
if the police are enforcing it,
Yeah, he's trying to
then
enforce.
you need to take that to you.
Well, the sign's gotta be removed.
Tell
It
Jack,
was-
tell Jack that
It was
this
Jack.
church parking isn't legal.
No ordinance
But
is
it would just be a city ordinance thing, then it sounds like, so,
There, yeah, the city ordinance says it's public parking.
we're, so did they just put the sign, I heard you guys say they were permanent or whatever?
Those signs were in the western, side of, Steve Tanner.
Those signs, it sounds like those signs were put or put up, or came into effect under the leadership of, Lieutenant Webster. So, I would have to go back and look and read the ordinance and then look at everything and see that. So if Ms. Hensman would send me an email, just reminding me this week, I'll look into that and see what we can do. Maybe there's this, I can go talk to the minister or the deacons of the church and say, hey, you know, based off the city ordinance, these need to be removed. So if you don't remind, we're in the middle of state accreditation right now, so if you don't remind me, I will not do it. I'm just gonna say it. So
See, originally though, I did give them permission to use that parking space, but they were supposed to put and take the signs back.
Up and down.
Off the street. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Is it written like that in the ordinance?
The mayor was allowing them to use it as a loading zone because they were doing some construction work and so forth, and that was the easiest entrance for them.
Okay.
But they decided to continue to use that for their own purpose.
And it was never through an ordinance, was it?
No.
No, the ordinance was to put those signs on the other side of the street.
Okay.
That's what was allowed.
So the signs are supposed to be on the other side of the street in buckets?
Only during church
Yes.
During
service.
church services, okay, so then I'm assuming that's written in the, maybe this is just, maybe there was a change of leadership at the church, I don't know, or they just kind of forgot about it, but I'll look into it
It's possible, yeah.
and go from there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, if you, I'll be honest with you, during the state accreditation of the last couple of months, if you do not remind me, I will forget. I forgot to tie my shoes on the way to work today, so.
Okay, so we'll look into that. Oh, and another thing I'll mention about, last thing I'll mention about that parking situation is, with the additional units that are coming into the school, I think it's, you know, basically best that we head it off now, because I feel like, you know, when we're talking about 20 more people on that corner, it's gonna be a lot.
Well, he's gonna have that parking lot in the back too.
He will have the parking lot in the back, but I think, you know.
Public parking. yeah.
It's public parking, it's probably gonna get used.
Okay.
The speed bumps, are those coming out of the ground, Bob? The speed bumps, are those coming up for the winter?
Bob, I spoke to L&M about that, and they wanted to know if we was gonna remove them. And they asked how they were, there's different types of mounting, there's track that they can put them on it. You guys used lag bolts to put them in.
Yeah, we use lag
Brian with L&M told me that they do plow with speed bumps in, and they just have to make sure they mark them for their own drivers. But for the most part, he's able to plow and not disturb those. Most of the time, they're gonna be above snow when the snow's removed anyway. But he has a map for those, and he said he would try his best to not disrupt them. And if it does happen, they install them, so he would put them back down and maybe even, you know,
Yeah, we can put some posts or something, hammer them into the ground and put a, you know, right at the end there where they're located at, so they'd be able to see them for sure, you know?
yes, I think we're okay on that.
Okay.
Let's see what he does, and once if there's an issue, I'm sure he'll bring it back to us and then we can do it.
Yeah, 'cause I just saw the salt down yesterday and saw the speed bumps still, and I was like, that could be.
Well, on that, he
problematic.
also said that they do the big squares, the 4-foot square ones that have the speed bump on it. They mount those, they put those down, and he plows with those, so, he's pretty good with speed bumps, and it may be beneficial, Jack, next year if we put the other ones down that we talked about, just let him help you, or you supervise their work, so.
Okay. Anything else?
Thanks for that.
Anything else,
No,
Andy?
not for me.
Okay, we need a motion, the bills be paid.
Make a motion to pay the bills.
Roll call.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes, on monthly recurring, no on credit cards and all other bills.
Okay, before we move to go into adjournment, Ken is gonna swear in.
I can certainly do that.
Can I go back to, Gail, just a second, can I go back to, new business? Bob came up and talked about his service. I think before Gail leaves, I just want to say thanks for years of service. We've always butted heads before, but that's what makes good conversation
That's right,
sometimes.
when we walk out of here, we still spoke to one another.
But I just want to personally say thanks for your
Thank you.
years of service, and
Thank you, Dave, I appreciate it.
so.
I was glad she let.
Have a nice
somebody-
holiday, please.
Glad she let somebody say that. She refused me to say anything tonight.
Did she?
Totally. Don't you ever say it.
That's why I don't.
I thought that was pretty pathetic.
That's why I like.
And for somebody, you know, I mean, that just,
Yeah, no, I didn't know that.
just burned my thought. Oh, well, let's move on. Okay, come on.
Newly elected council members can stand. Come on up. Come on.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna read this to you, and we'll go around the room, and each of you can say, "I do," if what you're saying is true. Do you each solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States of America? Oh, yeah, raise your right hand. Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky so long as you continue a citizen thereof, and that you will faithfully execute to the best of your ability the office of Bromley City Council Member according to law, and do you further solemnly swear or affirm that since the adoption of the present Constitution, you being a citizen of this state have not fought a duel with the deadly weapons, either within this state nor without of it, nor have you sent or accepted a challenge to fight a duel with deadly weapons, nor have you acted as a second in carrying a challenge, nor aided or assisted any person thus offending. So help you God.
I did. I did.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. All right, so, we need a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?